Hey guys, what's up? Sarah here. Welcome to my channel. If it's your first time checking it out and you guys enjoy my planty content, please think about hitting that subscribe button down below. Welcome back to all my other subscribers. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here again today. I really do appreciate it. All right, you guys, so in today's video, we are going to be talking about a long lost friend, okay? Plant of the month. I used to do plant of the month like every single month on my channel. It was just a way for me to showcase a special plant that's been doing extra good, going all above and beyond during plant struggling times, okay? And just being all special that month, okay? So I used to do this every single month. I don't know what happened. I fell off, all right? The struggle is real, okay, with posting on YouTube. Sometimes I go through waves, all right? So I have not been posting my plant of the month for a while and I really missed it. So I wanted to do a plant of the month for December. So here we are in all her glory. If you can tell right here, I am gonna be showcasing and talking about my Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma. This little cutie right here, which really isn't so little anymore. It's kind of big. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be talking about today. I hope you guys enjoy it. So my Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma, or as some people like to call it, Rhaphidophora. It just sounds so funny to me. I'm gonna be calling it Rhaphidophora because that's what I've always called it. And yeah, that's just, I don't know if it's correct. If it's not correct, I have no idea, you guys, but I'm really surprised that I'm gonna even be talking about this plant because this is the second one I've owned, okay? I did an unboxing on my channel a really long time ago towards the beginning of my YouTube journey. My YouTube channel, and I'll link that either up here in the cards or down in the description box below if you want to see me from a while ago. I killed it, okay? So I unboxed this little one. I killed it. It did not last very long at all. Basically what happened was the leaves just started to melt. Like literally brown started and they just completely started melting. And I've noticed that this can happen because I've seen this happen at a couple other like places where I've seen this plant. And yeah, the leaves just like melt. I don't know what it is. So I have no idea why they melted. I really don't know, but I know mine did that and I wasn't exactly sure what the problem was. I think it was watering, okay? I think it was watering. I'm gonna tell you guys kind of how I think about this plant now that I've had it for a while. So I did end up getting this plant from Pike's Nursery. I don't know if you guys have a Pike's near you. I know there's one in Georgia. I'm sure you guys are from all over, but that's where I ended up picking this one up, and it was probably this tall, like maybe 5 leaves. So it has grown so much for me. It's grown this huge long tendril, and I feel like we like each other now, okay? It took me a little while to figure out what this plant wanted. I know at Pike's they had a ton of these that were like climbing on a board, floor plants, big floor bushy plants, and they looked pretty good. Some of those had some like melty leaves too, so I'm not exactly sure what the cause of the melty brown leaves are. If you guys know what the like brown mushy leaf situation is, go ahead and leave it in the description box below because I've seen that quite a bit. But they had it climbing, so I really do think that this plant really likes to climb. I know you can have it hanging like in a basket, kind of like a pothos or philodendron, but these branches seem like thicker. It just seems like it likes to climb. So this was leaning up in my plant room, just up against a wall till like here. I just recently put it on this pole, and that's how it was kind of getting its support. It definitely couldn't like be out on its own, but now that I've given it this pole, I think it's going to be really, really happy, and it's going to push out some more growth for me. It's constantly pushing out new growth, which I am really excited about. I do just keep this one in my plant room, under the purple light, or as my husband likes to call it, blurple. That's the new thing in my household. He calls them blurple. He's like, I turned your blurple lights on. Anyway, I think it really does like bright indirect light as most plants. Like it doesn't like something that's gonna burn its leaves, but it likes, you know, some bright light, okay? So I do not know the difference between tissue culture and non-tissue culture. I am not an expert in no way. I have a very basic understanding of tissue culture and how that works. So basically what they did was, like, when all the craze of this plant came out, it wasn't readily available. An easy way for them to multiply this plant was basically to tissue culture it, which is like cloning. Okay, so they were able to like clone this plant and make a whole ton of them, and that's how we were able to get them. So I think it's kind of like, you know, if you were to clone your dog, your new dog might have like a lazy eye or like a funny limp. That's my understanding of the clone version versus the real version. The clone version is like something's a little off with it, okay? It just looks a little different, which doesn't bug me one bit at all. It's still beautiful, just exactly how it is. But it's a little bit different than the version that's just like grown in the wild. I think this version, from what I can tell, now I don't know for sure, but this is just my guess, the tissue culture version are like shorter, like fatter leaves, is where the non-tissue culture version is like more pointy, kind of bigger, more fenestrations or pointier or something. It just looks a little bit different, but I don't care. I am happy to have this one in my collection. So when I first got the one that I killed, I really wanted it, and I just felt really upset when I killed it. Okay, I felt really bad that I killed this plant, and I vowed to never get it again because it went down so fast. Okay, it just, from the second I unboxed it, it just went downhill, dead, RIP. Okay, it was very disappointing. So I felt like it was me. I don't know. It could have been something that I did. I don't know where I got it from, or if it had like one of those little plug things, you know, with the mesh around it down in there. I don't even remember. I don't know. But yeah, I killed it and I vowed to never get one again. So once I saw this, really not that long ago, it's been sometime like this year that I've gotten this plant. And it was just small, and I can't remember how much it was. I think it was $9.99 if I remember correctly. I just picked it up. It was just like a small little plant, and it's grown for me, so I'm really glad that it's grown. It does really seem to like this pole right here, and I don't know, I just think it's adorable and cute. So I do want to kind of talk about the watering thing. This plant scares me, okay? He scares me a little bit because of our previous relationship, okay, with each other. He melted before, so I'm a little bit scared of this plant, and I treat this one the same way that I treat my Cebu Blue, basically, or my begonias. If I look at this plant and I see it starting to like look a little curly and sad, like I think it's getting ready to start to need a drink, like see how these are like kind of curling up, I will right then give it a little bit of water. I do not drown this plant because this plant is in this beautiful pot that my mother gave me, this You Grow Girl pot. And it does not have a drainage hole. Now, I know there's a lot of controversy about not having a drainage hole in your plant, but it works for me, okay? I'm underwater, and this plant has really done well in this pot without this drainage hole, what I got going on. So it's kind of like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. This is what works for me. This is what I'm doing. So I feel like I don't drown this plant, but definitely if I notice the signs of it needing a drink, I will give it a drink. I don't use a moisture meter. I have one, and I'm going to start using one because I really feel like it's a good like tool in your toolbox to help you understand your plants better. And it's something that I want to start doing for the beginning of the year, is a lot of different things, but working on really understanding my plants better and what they need. So I'm probably going to start just testing this with a moisture meter just to get an idea when I do water it, like what the moisture level is, but I'm pretty sure it's like moist, okay? I don't drown it, but I don't let it dry out completely. I will just take a little bit of water and pour it on in there, and I don't have to do a lot because this does not have a drainage hole. It'll like all go to the bottom and then, you know, soak up in the plant. So my soil, let me tell you guys about my soil mixture and what I have it in. So I keep my Rhaphidophora in the same exact soil mix that I pretty much keep all of my plants in, and it may vary a little bit. I'm currently using the Fox Farm Oceanic something with like fish fertilizer in it. I have two different big giant bags I bought of Fox Farm, and I've been just using those. So that's the soil, and I'm adding in perlite, and I'm adding in some orchid bark, so it's like nice and chunky, and some charcoal in there. One of the mixtures that I got was the orchid bark with the charcoal, so that makes it really extra easy, and you just mix it all in there. It's pretty airy, okay? Before, I was making my mixture really heavy in the orchid bark and not as much soil. Almost like a 50-50 blend. I was doing 50% perlite and 50% soil. Then I started adding a lot of bark in, and it was just too airy for me. Really, honestly, for all of my plants, yes, they were happy and doing okay if I stayed on top of watering. I'm an underwaterer, and I cannot have my mix too airy. So I feel like this plant is really happy with the mixture that I have going on with the soil, the orchid bark, and the charcoal. Now, fertilizing, that's a whole nother topic. I don't know about fertilizing, because another thing that I want to work on this year and getting better at is fertilizing. I bought some fertilizer, and that's going to be in future video. My next plant chore video, I want to get to fertilizing some of my plants. I've probably fertilized this thing very sparingly with the what's it called, Miracle-Gro, the little pump that you like put 1 or 2 pumps in your watering can. That's basically all it's got. I would imagine don't overdo it with it, because I do kind of think this plant is sensitive to like shock and change. That's why I keep it in the same little spot and I keep doing what I'm doing, watering it the same way. I'm not changing it up or anything like that. So yeah, this plant really does love to grow up a pole. Like I said before, I think if you give it a pole to grab onto, you're going to get better results, and, you know, give it some stability with some little plant Velcro. But it's put off these 2 new leaves, and they're so stinking cute. Okay, what else was I going to talk about? There was something else that I was thinking about a second ago, and I forgot. What was it? Okay, I know what I was going to mention. You basically can propagate these in the same exact way you would propagate a pothos or a philodendron or any other plant, for that matter, that is vining like this, that has little nodes. You would just cut in between the nodes. You can stick it in water, perlite, moss, whatever your preferred propagation method is, and it'll shoot out some roots. I have not cut this one because I wanted it to climb, and it's really surprising to me that this is not bald at the bottom. I feel like a lot of my plants I have issues with getting leggy, or like as the plant matures, the bottom leaves will just fall off. That's just kind of how it goes, like it was with my Syngonium. Yeah, the bottom leaves just die, the oldest leaves, and then it just gets more and more bald. But I'm probably gonna, after these 2 baby leaves grow up to be adults, I'm probably gonna chop the next growth point off and try to pot it up in here and make it a little bit more full, so it's not just 1 branch, and then that way I can keep it on this same exact pole. So yeah, I'm really loving what's going on right now with the pole, the pot, just the whole setup. So if it outgrows it too much, I will chop it and propagate it and just try to pot it back up in here. So yeah, that's all the things that I think I've learned about this plant since I've had it from my mistakes before. It does like, I think it likes bright light, just like many of our other plants, because it's doing really, really well in front of my purple light. It just seems to really like it, and just having the stability of the wall. Something else I did want to mention is, I know that this plant can go by a couple different names. I believe it's like a woman's name. What is it? Jenny? I think it's like something Jenny. And a lot of people call it mini monstera because the way it looks. It's not actually a monstera. It's a Rhaphidophora. It's its own genus. It's not monstera or whatever they're trying to say the other plant is. Yeah, it's a Rhaphidophora. So you may see this thing mislabeled, or like a lot of plants, they have a bunch of different, you know, nicknames underneath their actual botanical name. So keep that in mind if you're looking for this. But I think now that they've become a lot more popular, if you search Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma, you'll definitely be able to find this plant and add it to your collection if you're interested. But beware, like I said, one melted on me very fast. I think they can be finicky, a little bit finicky. I've just been treating this kind of, like I said, like sort of like a begonia. When I see it starting to get sad, I give it a drink right then. I don't make it wait a really long time. Now, it can wait a while in between watering. I do know that because I'm underwater and I've pushed the limits on this one a little bit, but I try to be on top of it now so it doesn't turn yellow. Basically what my problem is I won't water a plant and then its oldest leaf, or it'll turn yellow and then we'll have leaf loss, which is my fault, not just natural leaf loss, because I went so long without watering the plant and it freaked out and went into shock and it has a bunch of yellow leaves. So try not to do that. with this guy because I think he's adorable and I want to keep him that way. So anyways, let me know in the comment section down below, do you guys have a Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma? Do you like it? Are your care tips similar? Any type of way you guys interact with my channel, it just helps it so much. So thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed the video, also make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already subscribed to my channel. I am starting a second channel, okay? I have it up and going. I haven't posted anything yet, but if you guys are interested in that, it's gonna also be in the description box down below. It's just gonna be about anything not planty, okay? I'm sure there's gonna be some plant stuff, some planty things, but it's pretty much gonna be like, I'm not sure yet because I haven't actually done anything for it, but motherhood, lifestyle vlogs. I have one more vlog coming up that I'm gonna post on this channel, and then all my vlogs from that point forward are gonna move over to my new channel. Let's not pretend like I'm some vlogger because I'm not. I have a really hard time with it, so I'm gonna, you know, test it out and practice over there on that channel. So anyways, I have that coming up. I also have a couple collabs planned, so stay tuned for those, so that's gonna be really fun coming up soon. So anyways, I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas and a beautiful holiday. Hopefully your planty dreams came true for Christmas. And you got some plants, or you know, you can return the other things that you got that you didn't want and use that money for new plants. You can do that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will be back at you guys again soon with another video. Bye.